Time is of the essence because we have a mountain to climb. We get 8% deeper into the hole every month that we wait. So I think we need to make an estimate of what our costs would be and then say, okay, we're here. And then when we're talking to people about the rates, we may raise the rates, but they have to look at it. If, for example, the new rates take into effect starting July 1, they've had the old rates for 6 months, the new rates for 6 months, you average it out, and it may not be as big as the number you're looking at. The question is then, do we adjust them downward later on? So that's it for me, I think.
Well, I've heard our council talk about having the sentiment of the public, of all of our residents, that we don't want single stream, we don't want food composting pickup, we don't want every week pickup. I doubt that the council actually knows what the majority of the residents want. Now, I know that we've heard from a fair number of our residents, either via an email or from last meeting and from this meeting, which we'll probably hear. And those concerns are definitely valid and should be taken into consideration. But there are 7,000 residents out there, and I don't think every one of them have spoken. I must tell you that from my personal experience, and I don't know if I just kind of embraced the situation, notwithstanding the rate increase or anything, but I used to have 3 32-gallon garbage cans full, overflowing every week that they'd pick up, and then I would sort all of my recycling in a dozen little bins. And I got to tell you, if Councilmember McKeithen doesn't mind doing that, and we go back to doing that, I'll welcome her to come over and help me. But the single stream blue container cart has just been a joy for me to work with and pull up. And like I said, this evening before coming over, I pulled out my 2 landscape greenways with the food waste in it, my 1 32-gallon black can. So I'm saving 50% of what I had been paying before, even at the increased rate. So I don't like the thought that you've got 3 different trucks picking up the 3 different bins and coming down. I think that it would have been nicer if you could have had 1 truck pick up everything, you know, all at once, because I think that the Allied did a lot of that. But I do think that we need more information about what the real costs are. I think that we are in a declining business mode with the, because I'm about to reduce my 32-gallon black can to 20-gallon, and I'll pay less. Well, if every resident in town did that, Recology, we will have such a shortfall to true up that we won't be able to afford it. So it's a business model that really doesn't work because we have so much green waste and so much other expenses in the in picking up garbage. I love garbage men. I'm so thrilled that somebody will come by my house and take my garbage away. It's a joy in that I don't have to haul it down to a dump someplace. So to me, I know that it's behavior modification. It's a new world. I think the costs are, you know, staggering. They're staggering. In Atherton, we have to get our hands around the cost. Looking at the costs that Allied wants to charge us back for higher costs for their maintenance insurance, workers' comp. Why do we have to pay for that? You know, there's like at least $120,000 of what I think is should be their responsibility in their business operations. So I agree that we need to get our handle on the cost, but personally, I'm paying 50% of what I was paying last year. So.
Would you put that slide back up that compared to other cities, the percentages? I think the important point here is that the this changes between 2010 2011 for all the cities. And the differentiators that were talked about as maybe being reasons why we're different than other cities, like bigger lots and all that kind of thing, that existed in 2010. The thing that's changed is the overhead costs, the fixed costs, like trucks and the facility and things like that, which all the cities should be sharing in the same proportion. So in theory, that percentage ought to be the same for every city, unless there's something that hasn't been pointed out yet that is the reason why there should be a differentiator between 2010 and 2011. It's not 2 or 3 times. That percentage should be the same for every city, because the same conditions existed in 2010 that exist in 2011. Or the conditions have changed the same way, like we have pickup every week now, so do all the other cities. So this was a big, big mystery. And to base our rates upon, you know, the maximum number right now is you know, there are a lot of answers that must come first. I want to ask a question here. The 1.9 million revenue was based upon what rate structure?
Your current rate.
On the current rate structure. So we have the operating costs for this next year are going to be 1.6 plus $1 million for other things.
1.9 plus about $1 million, so it's about 2.5.
So the current rates would cover the 1.9,
That's correct.
and so we're talking about that delta difference that's comprised of what?
600.
No, not 600. I'm talking about the $1 million.
Well,
The operating costs are. I thought the operating costs were going to be 1.6 million for this coming year.
you're correct. It is one. The collection costs are about $1.5 million.
That's correct, 1.5.
So the operating costs are 1.6. We're generating revenues of 1.9 based upon our current rate structure. So what's that extra $1 million to that?
Well, about close to, over $700,000 is your disposal fees. Because all ecology does is they pick up the garbage and they take it to the transfer station and there it is to be disposed.
And that's not part of the operating cost.
That is not part of the operating cost. And here, this is the chart that itemizes those out. So for 2011, the collection cost of $1.5 million, disposal and processing is $780,000, and about $210,000 franchise fees.
The other mystery, when talking to this gentleman the other day, I was asking about green waste and comparing Hillsborough. Hillsborough just passed a rate increase of 25%. And the final rates they've come up with are less than what's been proposed, I think, for us. And it turns out that Hillsborough, according to the data anyway, has, what, 2/3, 1/2, I've forgotten the exact number, of the tonnage of green waste that Atherton has. And I thought, how can that be? I mean, they got big trees. They've got 50% more lots. And somebody opined that maybe it was because they only had one green waste container. I don't know that that's true. But anyway, that's another mystery or another data point that just doesn't set well. So we have all this kind of unknown type of thing, but Jim Mayer is absolutely right. The clock is ticking. We get further and further behind on this, and so we need to decide, okay, what kind of an interim plan should we embark on where we set a rate, some interim rate, and meanwhile really go, what do you call that, the killer team or the tiger team? And really try to get to the bottom of this, because this is just not
Doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So I agree with you.
I just want to say, I think that we need to survey and poll our residents about what type of service they really do want. I know that a survey was done back in 2006, and so much has changed since then. But before we make any hard decisions one way or another, I think the residents should be polled.
The council was asked